It is a great day for everything to go totally off the rails and wrong in the National Hockey League. My gosh, can you believe that I started Sergei Bobrovsky over Joey Daccord in my fantasy league? Sergei Bobrovsky has made 11 saves on 16 shots against, 6-something save percentage. Amazing how he is literally going to cost me my week in both of my leagues. But yeah, thank you, Sergei Bobrovsky, for totally crumbling apart against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Today, though, in this video, we are not diving into the Pens and the Panthers. Instead, I wanted to talk about the Detroit Red Wings because they have just done it again. Another stinker of a loss, this time to the New York Islanders, a 7-2 defeat following what was a 4-2 defeat yesterday at the hands of the Buffalo Sabres. The Red Wings won 5 in a row. And then we said yesterday, hey, they're playing off against the Sabres. You know, knock on wood, Buffalo isn't the team to go out there and ruin Detroit's streak. But it's a 4-2 game where the Wings initially had the lead. They crumbled apart in the third, and they ended up with the loss. Now, with this game against the Islanders, a back-to-back showdown for Detroit, it just got even worse. I mean, 7-2, the score already says it right there, but this game was 5-0 before the Detroit Red Wings got any tangible offense behind the Islanders' goaltender there in David Rittich. Wasn't even Sorokin today, it was Rittich. Just a total crapshoot of a game for Detroit. You know, we can talk about the Islanders and dive into the angle there. Hey, Tony DeAngelo, Heineman, Pageau, Palmieri, Barzal, Holmstrom. Lots of diverse scoring here from this Islanders team, and lots of points from guys like Anders Lee and Bo Horvat. Multiple goal and assist games for guys like Tony DeAngelo and Barzal, and it was a really good showcase for this Islander squad. But my gosh, was this a total nightmare for the Detroit Red Wings. It's Halloween spooky season, right? We're getting all scared and frightened. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Todd McClellan's probably going to be having nightmares about what happened today. Now, shortly after the game concluded, which it just did, I wanted to talk about some of the elements that fans seem to be bringing up the most because, like, it's a 7-2 win. What is there to analyze? We don't want to go out there and break down every individual goal, play, and defensive lapse by Detroit, but we can holistically say that some guys did play a lot worse than others. I mean, what? Simon Edvinsson? Yeah, he had himself a bad game. This might have been the worst game he has ever played as a member of the Detroit Red Wings. Just totally getting walked, the whole play moves around him and through him. I mean, some of the gaffes on these Islanders goals. I mean, I said I don't want to go out there and start analyzing every single individual play, but it's hard not to when you see some of these plays coming back the other way. I mean, number 77 in red and white getting caught up, leading to a 2-on-1. I believe that was the 2-0 goal. And I think the last goal, the 7-1 goal, was like the worst one of all, where Anders Lee totally dekes the pants and the jockstrap off of Edvinsson, dangles right through the guy, and it is a terrible look for the young Red Wings D-man. Now, I'm not going to say that, of course, I'm going to give up on the guy, like, oh, he's not good, he's never going to have any success again. No, that's not what we're going to say here. But this was a terrible game for a few very select members of the Red Wings, and just looking at some of the reactions and response, I mean, as if Patrick Kane's absence from the lineup wasn't already felt, now we are starting to see a lot more of other guys that Red Wings fans just cannot stop hating on. JT Compher, Michael Rasmussen, everybody's calling them out. Why do they keep on getting minutes? Why was Talbot left in there? I think really, you know, Talbot wasn't amazing in this game. I talk about Sergei Bobrovsky and his terrible save percentage, but admittedly a lot of the goals that went in were kind of difficult to stop. Cam Talbot was in a pretty rough spot too, because you can say honestly a lot of the goals that went in today for New York were not necessarily Talbot's fault. You don't want to get on a goaltender for getting hung out to dry by his defense, which happened a lot in this game. Ultimately, though, the fact that Todd McLellan left Talbot in really just let the team and the goaltender and everybody soak it in. Soak in the loss, soak in all the bad vibes, and it doesn't really help anybody. But I'm thinking about it now like, John Gibson wasn't perfect yesterday against Buffalo either, but a game like this, this does not inspire any confidence on any of the Detroit Red Wings that had suited up today. At the very least, Dylan Larkin was able to get a point today, and he ended up getting a point yesterday as well, so you can say that he has extended his point streak there. He had an assist yesterday against the Sabres, and then he had a goal today against the Isles. Emmett Finney getting some assists as well and points, so good to see him continue his production. But, of course, a goal from Dylan Larkin is not going to negate all of the other bad stuff that we had seen out of the Red Wings in this contest. So, ultimately, I mean, there isn't really anything to learn. You just gotta hope that this will light a fire under the Detroit Red Wings behind and hopefully, give everybody the necessary drive to combat and bounce back in the proper way. Say what you want about there being a losing culture with the Detroit Red Wings, how this has persisted within this organization for years and years, but now we're starting to see, for Todd McLellan, this is a guy who absolutely is not used to that, nor is he a fan of a locker room or a team that has sort of a loser's mentality. He is going to be livid with this performance, and rightfully so. And I'm guessing the best case scenario here would be for Todd McLellan to bite back against his squad, really chew them out and give this team what it needs, a look inwards and saying to themselves that, yeah, sometimes y'all just give up. Sometimes when y'all have an opportunity to bounce back and all you need is some effort, you just don't show it. So we'll see whether or not that becomes an angle over the next few days here. A 5-game winning streak all of a sudden turned completely over up in its head, and the fan base is freaking out because of it. I mean, the video we made a few days ago when Detroit beat Tampa Bay, that's one of the most viewed videos on the channel. For whatever reason, that video ended up popping off and getting 40,000 hits. A lot of y'all in the comments were super optimistic and super excited. And now, after this showcase over the past 2 days, I mean, things didn't go too well against Buffalo, but it's only 4-2. Now this one, 7-2 against the Islanders. Jonatan Berggren scored at the end there, so I guess we're going to see more of him over the next little while. But ultimately, the Detroit Red Wings, there's a lot to be desired out of the way they're playing these days. Man, that 5-game win streak feels like an era ago, if I'm going to be honest. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, the dislike button's down there for you too. I got to go get back to watching Nashville, Vancouver, and Montreal, Edmonton, because, yeah, a lot of my teams are playing today, so there's a lot that my eyes have to take in. Thoughts in the comment section below about the Islanders' total destruction of the Detroit Red Wings. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.